You keep showing up. My friends, we all love that sudden spark of motivation. The rush of energy when we watch a powerful video, read a quote, or listen to an inspiring story. To care, you keep showing up. For a moment, we feel unstoppable. But what happens the next day? The fire fades, the excitement cools, and we find ourselves right back where we started. You see, inspiration is like a spark. It can light a flame, but only habits can keep that fire burning. You keep showing up. Real transformation doesn't come from moments of excitement. It comes from the quiet consistency of daily effort. A small act done every day, you keep showing up, shapes who we become far more than a burst of temporary enthusiasm. You can't become fit by going to the gym once with passion. You keep showing up, but you can change your body by going every day with discipline. The same applies to your mind, your work, your relationships, and your spiritual growth. Keep showing up. We often wait for motivation to strike before we act. But the truth is, action breeds motivation. When you act first, motivation follows. To keep carry, if you start your day with good habits, like gratitude, focus, kindness, learning, you create an inner rhythm that doesn't depend on how you feel that day. You keep showing up. Because feelings are temporary, but habits are powerful. Think about a musician who practices daily. They may not feel inspired every day to carry. You keep showing up, but their habit of practice makes them excellent. A writer who writes every morning may not feel creative daily, but through habit, they discover brilliance. You keep showing up. Consistency beats intensity. The one who moves a little every day moves farther than the one who runs hard once a month. Life rewards consistency. You keep showing up, not occasional brilliance. When we build habits of learning, working, caring, and reflecting, we build strength that lasts. Inspiration may give direction, showing up, but habits build destiny. So don't wait for motivation to appear. Create systems that guide you even when motivation disappears. Wake up with purpose. Small acts with love and awareness. Over time, these daily disciplines shape your destiny silently, powerfully, beautifully. Remember, to care, it's not what you do once that defines you. It's what you do every day that makes you who you are. Inspiration is a spark, habits are the fire. When we feel inspired, it's as if a sudden flame ignites within us. Our hearts beat faster, our minds fill with grand visions. You keep showing up, and we promise ourselves that this time we will finally change. Maybe we watched a motivational video, read a powerful quote, showing up, or heard a story that touched our soul. For a few moments, everything feels possible. But as time passes, that spark begins to dim. The energy that once felt endless now fades into the background of daily life work. Stress, distractions, and routine take over. The truth is, you keep showing up. Inspiration can start a journey, but it cannot sustain it. It's like lighting a candle in the wind. It glows beautifully for a while. Showing up, unless you protect it and feed it, it eventually dies out. Habits, on the other hand, are the quiet, steady flames that never go out. You keep showing up. They don't need applause or excitement to keep burning. They thrive in repetition, in discipline. In the simple act of showing up every day, whether you feel like it or not. Habits are the invisible engines behind every great success story. You keep showing up. The athlete who wakes up at dawn to train, even when tired. The student who studies a little each day, even when no exams are near. You keep showing up. The musician who practices scales long after the excitement has faded. Each of them has learned that true power lies not in how inspired they feel. You keep showing up, but in what they consistently do. Think of a farmer planting seeds. One day of planting doesn't make a harvest. It's the daily care, the watering, the weeding that brings fruit in its season. Similarly, in life, our habits are the seeds we plant. Each day we water them with effort. And over time, they grow into the results we desire. Inspiration might motivate the farmer to start. You keep showing up. But habit, it keeps him going through the hard days when there's no visible growth. The problem with inspiration is that it depends on emotion to carry. You keep showing up, and emotions are temporary. You may wake up one morning feeling powerful, ready to conquer your dreams. The next morning, you might feel tired, doubtful. You keep showing, if your actions depend on your emotions, you will be inconsistent. But when your actions depend on your habits, you gain control over your life. You keep showing up. You no longer need to feel motivated to take the right step. You just do it because it has become part of who you are. You keep showing up. Inspiration is the call to climb the mountain. Habit is the strength that helps you reach the top. Without habit, you keep showing up. You start the climb with excitement and end it with exhaustion. With habit, you climb steadily step by step. And even when the journey feels long, you keep showing up. You never stop moving forward. The world celebrates the moments of brilliance, the speeches, the victories. You keep showing up, the breakthroughs. But what they don't see are the countless quiet days of practice, effort, and discipline that built the foundation for that brilliance. Keep showing up. So while inspiration can light the spark of change, it is habit that turns that spark into an unshakable fire. A fire that burns not because of temporary emotion, but because of continuous action. A fire that doesn't flicker when challenges come. To carry, you keep showing up because it's fed by purpose, not passion. When you learn to replace the need for motivation with the strength of habit, you gain mastery over your own life. You no longer chase the feeling of inspiration. You become the source of it. Consistency creates transformation. You keep showing up. The real magic of life is not in doing something big once, but in doing something small every single day. You keep showing up. Many people chase change with bursts of enthusiasm. They set goals, make plans, and start with great energy. But after a few days or weeks, that energy fades. To carry, you keep showing up, and the old patterns return. Why? Because transformation isn't born from what we do occasionally. It's born from what we do consistently. You keep showing up just as water shapes stone, not through force, but through steady persistence. So too does consistency shape our character, our habits, and ultimately, carry. You keep showing up, our destiny. Imagine someone who wants to become healthy. They might go to the gym for a week, eat well for a few days, and then slip back into old habits. You keep showing up. Their body doesn't change much, and they lose hope. But another person who simply walks every morning, drinks water regularly, eats one healthy meal a day, you keep showing up, and repeats this quietly for months, their transformation becomes visible. It wasn't because they did something extreme, but because they did some things every day. Consistency is often slow and unnoticed, but its results are undeniable. You keep showing up. The challenge for most people is that they expect immediate results. We live in a world of instant gratification, where patience feels outdated. To care, you keep showing up, but growth is like nature. It takes time. A tree doesn't sprout overnight. It grows little by little, day by day. You keep showing up. You can't see its roots developing beneath the soil. Yet that's where its real strength lies. In the same way, when you're consistent in your efforts, you not see visible results at first. But underneath the surface, change is happening. Your mind is adapting. Your habits are forming. You keep showing up, and your spirit is strengthening. Consistency also builds trust, both with others and with yourself. When you do what you said you would do day after day, to carry, you showing up, you start believing in your own reliability. That belief becomes power. You stop doubting your capabilities because your actions prove your strength. Keep showing up. You no longer depend on external motivation because you've built internal momentum. You keep showing up. Each day of consistent effort adds a brick to the foundation of your confidence. Think of a musician who practices every morning. Even when they don't feel inspired, their fingers move naturally, their rhythm improves, and over time, mastery happens almost effortlessly. You keep showing up, or consider a writer who writes one page a day. A single page doesn't seem much, but in a year, that's a book. In 5 years, that's 5 books. The difference between the person who dreams and the one who achieves is not talent. It's consistency. You keep showing up. Consistency transforms not only skills, but also mindset. It teaches discipline, patience, and humility. When you repeat something daily, you keep showing up. You learn to embrace the process rather than rush toward the result. You stop asking, how long will it take? And start saying, you keep showing as long as it takes. That attitude itself is transformation. A shift from wanting success quickly to building it gradually. Even in relationships, you keep showing up. Consistency is what builds trust and love. Saying, I care about you once is easy, but showing care every day through small acts of kindness and presence is what truly deepens bonds. The same applies to faith, learning, and personal growth. Sporadic devotion gives moments of joy, but consistent practice gives lifelong peace. In the end, transformation is not one big leap, it's thousands of small steps taken with dedication. You keep showing up, every consistent effort, no matter how small, compounds over time. Just as drops of water fill an ocean, daily effort fills your life with progress. Showing up, you may not notice it daily, but one day you look back and realize how far you've come. Not because you moved fast, you keep showing up, but because you never stopped moving. Action brings motivation, not the other way around. To carry, you keep showing up. Most people wait for the perfect wave of inspiration before they start doing something meaningful. They say, I'll start when I feel ready, or I'll begin when I'm motivated. But the truth is that moment rarely comes. You keep showing up. Motivation doesn't appear magically. It grows out of action. When you take the first step, however small, you create momentum. Keep showing up, and that momentum awakens motivation. Action is like the key that unlocks the door of energy and enthusiasm that already exists within you. You keep showing up. Think of it this way. When you're sitting still, even thinking about starting feels heavy. The longer you sit, the more resistance you build in your mind. You keep showing up, but the moment you move, even slightly, your body and mind start to align with progress. For example, if you don't feel like exercising, you keep showing up. The hardest part is not the workout itself, it's putting on your shoes and getting started. Once you begin, your energy rises. You keep showing up and suddenly you find yourself in rhythm. The act of starting dissolves the laziness that held you back. That's the secret of action. You keep showing up. It breaks the mental chains of procrastination. Waiting for motivation is like waiting for the weather to be perfect before you plant a seed. The truth is, you keep showing up. The right time never really comes. You make it right by beginning. When you take small actions, even when you don't feel like it, you keep showing up. Something powerful happens inside you. You prove to yourself that you can move forward without waiting for ideal conditions. Each action, no matter how tiny, you keep showing up, you feed your sense of capability, and that sense becomes the fuel for your next step. It's often said that inspiration gets you started. You keep showing him, but habit keeps you going. Yet what many forget is that action creates both inspiration and habit. When you act, showing up, your brain releases dopamine, the same chemical that makes you feel rewarded. You keep showing up. That means the very act of doing something positive actually creates motivation to do more. It's not the thing about doing that matters. You keep showing up. It's doing that changes how you think. Let's take an example of a writer who's struggling with writer's block. They wait for the perfect idea. You keep showing up for that magical burst of creativity, but days pass and nothing happens. Then one day they sit down and simply write anything, even if it's not great. Soon ideas begin to flow, and the words start connecting. Why? Because creativity awakens through the act of creating, showing up, not through waiting for the right feeling. The same applies to every area of life: business, fitness, relationships, or spirituality. Movement invites clarity. You keep showing up. Stagnation breeds confusion. Sometimes we expect motivation to come like a thunderbolt from the sky, but it rarely does. You keep showing up. True motivation is like a fire that starts with a small spark of effort. Each time you take a small action, studying for 5 minutes, you keep showing up. Cleaning one corner of your room, taking one step forward, you're adding fuel to that fire. Slowly it grows into something strong and unstoppable. You keep showing up, and the beauty is, once you begin, you realize that motivation was never missing. You just needed to wake it up through motion. Action also defeats fear. You keep showing up. The more we think about something, the more fear grows in our minds. But once we start doing it, you keep showing up, the fear begins to fade, because action gives us proof that the problem isn't as big as we imagined. You keep showing up. You don't overcome fear by thinking your way through it. You overcome it by walking through it. So instead of waiting for motivation to push you, keep showing up. Let your actions pull you. Take the first step, however small. Because once you begin, energy follows, clarity follows, and courage follows. You keep showing up. The movement you create by acting becomes the very motivation you were searching for. Discipline is stronger than mood. You keep showing up. Every day we wake up with a different feeling. Some mornings we feel unstoppable, ready to conquer the world, and other days we feel tired, distracted. Keep showing our low on energy. If we only acted when we felt good, we would live inconsistently, starting strong and fading fast. Feelings are temporary. You keep showing up, they rise and fall like waves. But discipline, that quiet, steady force inside us, keeps us moving forward even when the tide of motivation goes out. You keep showing up. Discipline is the bridge between our goals and their achievement, the force that carries us when our emotions try to hold us back. Our moods are unpredictable. Showing up, you can't rely on them to build anything lasting. Some days the mind whispers, not today. You deserve a break. Other days it says, you keep showing up. You're not ready. If you listen to those voices too often, dreams stay dreams. Discipline, however, doesn't negotiate. It doesn't ask how you feel. To carry, you keep showing up. It reminds you what you've committed to. It teaches you to show up regardless of the mood, and that simple act of showing up, day after day. To carry, you keep showing up, transforms your entire life. Think about anyone who has achieved greatness, a musician, an athlete, a writer, or a teacher. You keep showing up. None of them felt excited every single day. There were mornings they didn't want to practice, nights they wanted to quit. To carry, you keep showing up. And in moments of doubt that could have stopped them. But they didn't depend on inspiration, they depended on discipline. To carry, you keep showing up. The pianist plays even when the melody feels dull. The athlete trains even when their body aches. The student studies even when the topic feels boring. You keep showing up. Over time, this habit of consistent effort builds strength, skill, and confidence. Discipline also creates freedom. It may sound strange, But structure actually liberates you. When you discipline yourself to follow routines, waking up early, exercising, reading, you keep showing up, reflecting, you free your mind from chaos. You don't have to waste energy deciding what to do, you simply do it. This frees your creativity focus. You keep doing energy for the things that truly matter. Ironically, you keep showing up. The people who seem most in control of their lives are not those who follow their moods. They're the ones who follow their principles. To carry, keep showing up. There's a moment in everyone's journey when excitement fades and reality sets in. That's the point where most people stop. To carry, you keep showing up. But those who understand the power of discipline push through that phase, and that's where growth happens. When you act despite your mood, you keep showing up. You prove to yourself that you are stronger than your feelings. That small victory builds mental toughness. It reminds you that emotions are meant to be felt. Carry, keep showing up, but they are not meant to control your direction. Discipline also reshapes the brain. Each time you choose to act instead of delay, you keep showing up, you strengthen the neural pathways linked to self-control and focus. Over time, doing the right thing becomes easier, even natural. Clap, you the same way muscles grow when trained, willpower grows when practiced. Discipline is not about perfection, it's about persistence. Even when you slip, to carry, you keep showing up. What matters is returning to your path. The beauty of discipline is that it doesn't depend on inspiration, it creates its own. You keep showing up. When you finish a task you didn't feel like starting, you experience pride and satisfaction. To that sense of accomplishment becomes the motivation for your next action. Slowly, discipline turns into habit, and habit turns into character. It keeps showing up. It becomes in who acts not because of fleeting moods, but because of lasting purpose. Discipline is quiet, often unnoticed. You keep showing up, but it's the backbone of every success. It's not dramatic like inspiration, but it's dependable. To carry, you keep showing up, and when you learn to let discipline lead your days instead of emotion, you become unstoppable, steady, resilient, and consistent. You keep showing up, no matter how you feel. Small actions lead to big results. In the grand story of success, people often celebrate the big moments, the victories, the breakthroughs, the achievements that make headlines. But behind every great accomplishment lies a long trail of small, simple actions repeated over time. It's easy to underestimate the power of small steps because they seem so ordinary, so quiet, almost invisible. Yet, it is these tiny efforts, you keep showing up, done consistently, that create extraordinary outcomes. Greatness is never built overnight, it is built brick by brick, day by day. You keep showing up through ordinary choices that add up to something remarkable. Think about how nature works. To carry, you keep showing up. A river doesn't carve its path through rock with one powerful wave. It does it through steady, continuous flow. Each drop of water, though weak on its own, you keep showing up, becomes mighty when combined with persistence. The same principle applies to our lives. Every small act of discipline, waking up early, saving a little money, you learning one new word, showing one act of kindness, seems insignificant in the moment, but over time, it compounds into strength, wisdom, and success. Showing up. The secret is not in doing massive things occasionally, but in doing simple things daily. Many people don't start because they think small efforts won't matter. They want immediate change, visible progress, and dramatic results. You keep showing up, but true transformation doesn't work that way. The person who reads 10 pages a day will have read hundreds of books over a decade. You keep showing up, the one who exercises for 15 minutes daily will build a body far stronger than someone who trains intensely for a week and then quits. You keep showing up, progress may not be visible each day, but it's happening beneath the surface. Just like a seed. Showing up, it takes time before growth becomes visible above the ground. But every small act of care is nurturing it. Small actions also build confidence. You keep showing up. When you set a big goal, it can feel overwhelming, but when you break it down into smaller, manageable steps, it becomes achievable. You keep showing up. Each time you complete one small step, your mind registers success. That sense of accomplishment fuels motivation for the next action. Carry, you keep showing up. It's like climbing a mountain, not by leaping to the top, but by taking one step at a time. To carry, keep showing up. Every small step matters because each one takes you closer to the peak. Even in relationships and personal growth, the little things matter most. You keep showing up, listening attentively, saying thank you, offering help, or simply being present. These are small acts, yet they build deep trust and love over time. To care, you keep showing up in self-improvement, writing down your thoughts daily, meditating for a few minutes, or speaking kindly to yourself. All these habits may seem minor. You keep showing up, but they slowly reshape your mindset and your life. The challenge is that small actions don't give instant gratification. You don't see results immediately, To carry, you keep showing up, so it's tempting to give up. But if you stay patient and consistent, the compounding effect begins to show. Just as interest grows in a savings account, showing up, your efforts multiply silently until one day, the results become impossible to ignore. You keep showing up. That's when people call you lucky or naturally talented, without realizing it was your daily dedication to small steps that made the difference. You keep showing up's actions also protect you from burnout. When you focus on taking one manageable step, instead of trying to do everything at once, you keep showing up, you maintain steady progress without overwhelming yourself. This is the secret of sustainability, small but steady movement in the right direction. You keep showing up. In the end, it's not the size of your actions that matters, but their consistency and intention. You keep showing up. Each small action you take sends a signal to the universe about your commitment to growth. Over time, showing up, those tiny steps weave together into a journey of transformation. You keep showing up. The staircase to success is not climbed through countless little steps taken faithfully every single day. Habits build identity. Carry. You keep showing up. What we repeatedly do eventually becomes who we are. Every small action, every daily choice, every routine thought shapes our personality, our mindset. To tune our destiny, most people think identity shapes behavior. They believe that if they become successful, disciplined, or confident, you keep showing up, then their actions will follow. But in truth, it's the other way around. Our consistent actions form our identity. Each time we act a certain way, you keep showing up. We are voting for the kind of person we want to become. Over time, these votes accumulate. You keep showing up, and we begin to see ourselves differently, not because we dreamed it, but because we lived it. Imagine someone who wants to be a writer. You keep showing up. They may not feel like one at first. They may doubt their talent or fear they're not good enough. But if they write a little every day, one page, you keep showing up. One paragraph, even one sentence, they are reinforcing a new identity. Each day they show up, they are telling themselves, I am the kind of person who writes. Eventually, that habit becomes part of who they are. The same applies to fitness, learning, kindness, spiritual practice. When you practice something consistently, you keep showing up, it's being something you are do, and starts becoming something you are. Our habits are like invisible scripts running our lives. Keep showing up. Most of what we do daily is automatic. How we think, how we react, how we speak. These patterns create our identity over time. You keep showing up. A person who practices gratitude daily becomes a grateful person. Someone who complains daily becomes a negative person. You keep showing up. A person who helps others regularly becomes compassionate. It's not one act that defines us, but the repetition of those acts that builds our character. You keep showing up. In this way, habits are not just actions, they are mirrors reflecting our inner values. Habits also build integrity between what we say and what we do. You keep showing up. When our actions align with our values, we begin to trust ourselves more. That self-trust creates confidence. For instance, you keep showing up when you're waking up early and you actually do it. Every day you build credibility with yourself. You start believing in your own words. And that belief becomes the foundation of a strong identity. On the other hand, when we break our own promises repeatedly, we lose trust in ourselves, keep showing up, and our self-image weakens. So every habit either strengthens or weakens the story we tell ourselves about who we are. Showing up. Another beautiful truth about habits and identity is that small changes can create deep transformation. You keep showing up. You don't have to change everything at once to become someone new. If you start practicing one positive habit and stick to it long enough, it will influence other areas of your life. A person who begins meditating regularly might become calmer, more patient, focused in other situations too. You keep showing up. A person who commits to learning daily might develop curiosity and confidence that carry into their work and relationships. In this way, you keep showing up. Each good habit becomes a ripple that shapes your overall identity. Habits are also deeply connected to self-respect. You keep showing up. When you follow through with your routines, even when it's hard, you prove to yourself that you are disciplined and capable. You earn that internal proof builds pride and dignity. You stop needing external validation because you know who you are from within. You keep showing up. You've built your identity through action, not opinion. This is the quiet power of habit. It molds not just your schedule, but your sense of self. Over time, you keep showing up. Your habits become your identity, and your identity becomes your destiny. If you want to change your life, keep showing up. Don't start by trying to change everything. Start by changing one small habit. Live each day as the person you want to become, and slowly keep showing up. Your actions will reshape your beliefs, your character, and your future. Success is not about intensity, but consistency. In life, Showing up, we often glorify the grand moments, the powerful speeches, the record-breaking performances, the huge breakthroughs. You keep showing up. We look at successful people and imagine that their lives are full of constant excitement and unstoppable motivation. But what we don't see are the long, quiet days when they kept going without applause, without recognition, without visible results. True success isn't built in moments of intensity. You keep showing up. It's built in the steady rhythm of consistent effort. It's not about how hard you work for a day, but how faithfully you show up every day. You keep showing up. Intensity can be exciting, but it burns out quickly. It's like a match that lights up brilliantly for a moment and then fades into smoke. Consistency, you keep showing, however, is like a steady flame. It may not dazzle immediately, but it burns long and strong. Many people start projects, goals, or habits with enthusiasm. You keep showing up, pushing themselves with passion for a short while, but when results don't appear quickly, their motivation fades. On the other hand, you keep showing up. Those who commit to consistent effort, no matter how small, always move forward. Because while intensity depends on emotion, you keep showing up. Consistency depends on commitment. Think about a musician learning an instrument. Practicing intensely for 8 hours one day will not create mastery. Showing up, but practicing 1 hour every day for a year will. The brain learns through repetition, not through exhaustion. Similarly, in fitness, you keep showing up to carry. You can't build strength by working out intensely for 1 week and then stopping. Muscles grow through regular training, rest, and patience. You keep showing up. The same is true in relationships, work, and personal growth. Success grows from sustained investment, not bursts of effort. Carry, you keep showing up. The power of consistency lies in the compound effect. Each small, steady action builds upon the last, creating results that multiply over time. You imagine a person who reads 10 pages every day. In a year, keep showing up. They've read thousands of pages, more than most people who wait for the right time to start reading. You keep showing up. Or think of someone who saves a small amount of money regularly. Eventually, those small deposits create financial stability. Up, what seems insignificant daily becomes powerful when compounded over months and years. Consistency also trains your mind to be resilient. You keep showing up. When you keep doing something regardless of mood or circumstance, you build mental toughness. You learn to rely on discipline instead of emotion. You keep showing up. That kind of strength is what separates those who finish from those who quit. Anyone can be passionate for a moment. You keep showing up, but the one who keeps moving forward quietly, patiently, and persistently is the one who reaches the top. You keep showing up. Another hidden beauty of consistency is that it creates trust, not only with others, but with yourself. Each day you stay true to your word. You keep showing up. You strengthen your belief that you can depend on yourself. That trust becomes your confidence. You keep showing up. It removes self-doubt because you have daily evidence of your reliability. You no longer say, I hope I can do it. You say, Kerry, you keep showing up, I know I can. Because your actions prove it. Consistency also brings peace when you live with steady effort. You no longer rush results or chase perfection. You learn to enjoy the process, knowing that each day is a meaningful part of your journey. You keep showing up. You stop comparing your progress with others because you understand that success is not a race. It's a rhythm. You keep showing up. You're no longer trying to win in a single moment. You're building something that lasts a lifetime. In truth, you keep showing up. The most extraordinary people are not those who worked intensely once. They are those who work consistently for years. You keep showing up. Their greatness lies not in a single act of brilliance, but in the hundreds of unseen days they chose to keep going. Success, therefore, keep showing up, is not about how loud your start is, it's about how long your commitment lasts. Daily discipline outlasts temporary passion. Passion is a beautiful feeling. It fills you with excitement, energy, and vision. It makes you dream bigger and push harder. You keep showing up, but passion alone is like a flash of lightning, bright, powerful, but short-lived. It may start your journey, but it cannot carry you through it. You keep showing up. What truly sustains long-term success and growth is daily discipline. The commitment to keep showing up even when the excitement fades. Keep showing up even when no one is watching, even when it's hard. Discipline is the quiet force that turns dreams into reality and potential into purpose. Your passion is emotional, but discipline is intentional. When you're driven only by passion, you'll move forward when things feel good, showing up, but you'll stop when challenges arise. However, when you are guided by discipline, too heavy to carry, you keep showing up. Your actions are not controlled by how you feel, they're controlled by what you've decided. Passion says, I'll do it when I feel inspired. Discipline says, you keep showing up. I'll do it because I've committed to it. That's why people who rely solely on passion often burn out quickly. You keep showing up, while those who build their days on disciplined routines keep growing steadily. Think of a student preparing for an exam. At the beginning, they might feel motivated to study. The excitement of success gives them energy. But after a few days, that feeling fades. Distractions appear, fatigue sets in, you keep showing up. And the mind says, take a break. If the student depends on passion, they'll stop there. But if they're guided by discipline, they'll continue. You keep showing up, regardless of the mood. They understand that consistency matters more than enthusiasm. Eventually, to carry, you keep showing up. Their effort pays off, not because they were always passionate, but because they were always disciplined. The same truth applies to every part of life. A person who exercises only when inspired won't stay fit. A person who works hard only when they feel like it won't achieve mastery. The painter who paints every day, even when you're inspired, eventually finds beauty through persistence. You keep showing up. The entrepreneur who keeps working through setbacks becomes resilient. You keep showing up. The parent who shows love and patience every single day creates a strong bond with their children. You keep showing up. These acts are not born from fleeting emotion, but from a deep, consistent discipline rooted in purpose. Discipline transforms passion into progress. You keep showing up. It gives the structure to your energy, direction to your efforts, and stability to your growth. Without it, you keep showing up, passion becomes scattered. It burns fast, but achieves little. But when passion and discipline work together, they create unstoppable momentum. Showing up passion gives the dream, discipline gives it life. Passion starts the fire, discipline keeps it burning. Discipline also builds emotional strength. You keep showing up. When you continue doing what you need to do despite difficulty or boredom, you build resilience to carry. You keep showing up, you train your mind to stay focused and your heart to stay patient. Over time, this resilience becomes your greatest advantage. You stop waiting for ideal conditions. You create them through consistent effort. You stop relying on external motivation. You generate it from within. You keep showing up. That's when success stops being accidental and becomes inevitable. Another gift of daily discipline is peace of mind. When you live with discipline, you keep showing up. You don't carry the guilt of procrastination or the regret of wasted time. You sleep better knowing that you've given your best today. You keep showing up. You may not see immediate results, but deep down, you know you're moving forward. Showing up, and that quiet confidence is far more powerful than any momentary rush of passion. Passion may start your journey, but discipline completes it. Showing up, passion brings excitement, but discipline builds endurance. Passion inspires dreams, but discipline makes them real. You keep showing up. The person who relies on daily discipline doesn't chase feelings, they build foundations. They may not always feel passionate, but they remain purposeful. And in the long run, it's that steady, disciplined heart, not the passionate one, that stands strong when everything else fades.